Thank you once again, class. As earlier introduced, one of the biology teachers in GNS school, my name is Dixon D.O. Our school is located in the heartbeat of Lagos, in Ayobo. Every good thing that is linked to Lagos State, you will come to Ayobo and experience all this. And permit me also to use this medium to advertise the school, to tell you that all you need to do is to log up to our website to see beautiful things we are doing in our school. So this is an SS2 class, and we'll be looking at biology, human digestive system. The human digestive system, you could as well link it to, could also be known or referred to as the alimentary canal system. So when you're talking about the human digestive system, a whole lot come into play. Look at it here, it said digestive system and alimentary system. So if I hear the word digestive and I hear the word alimentary, we're actually talking about the same thing. Redirect here. For digestive system of non-human animals, see digestion. So what they are trying to tell you here is that if you are looking at the human digestive system, a whole lot will come to play. So if I'm talking in terms of the human digestive system, I will look at the division of the body parts. What happens within this region if you cut this off? Keep it somewhere. What happens within this region if you cut this off? Remove it. And what happens from here down? Because I don't need my limbs. All I need is from here to here, that gets to the rectum before digestion is complete. That's what we're going to look at now. So let's see. The human digestive system consists of the gastrointestinal tract. And we talk about the gastrointestinal tract, plus the accessory organs of the digestion. So when we talk about the gastro, that is, you are removing, look at it, gastrointestinal. So here I'm bringing the intestine, the small intestine, the large intestine. Then you have this one that is coming into, plus the accessory organs of digestion. So other accessory organs of digestion you have here are the tongue, the salivary glands, the pancreas, the liver, and the gallbladder. So when we talk about the tongue, that is where, remember when we started the class, I told you that we'll be looking at ear, the whole of the head, then we'll be paying more attention on the buccal cavity, that is the mouth. Permit me to state here that for every terminology in biology, it must be used. You must get used to all terminology in biology. Okay, let's see the tongue. Let's see tongue, salivary glands here. Then leave this 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 are inside the mouth. Now, pick the mouth as a case study. Now, the first question you ask yourself is that the human tongue is lying on the lower palate of the mouth. If you open your mouth wide, you see the tongue lying at the base of the mouth. Then if you raise the tongue up and touch underneath, the base of the mouth is succulent, very soft. That is what we call the lower palate in biology. Then when you push your hand up again in your mouth, you see some parts that look like the roofs of building that are cemented. That is the upper palate. That's why when you take in anything that is hot, very hot liquid, is either you get the burnt up there, that you get that burnt, you can't get the burnt underneath because the tongue is the one that is covering. So it's either you get it burnt up or you get it on top of the tongue, depending on how the liquid was ingested into the mouth. Okay, now if we say the tongue and the salivary gland, and you take the case study of the human mouth, then the question you ask yourself is that, okay, Mr. Dixon wants to eat rice and beans. So there are terminologies that I'm going to use in this now before I do it. So I won't be using the normal, I scooped a spoon of rice, I put it in my mouth. No, I'm going to use pure biology terminologies. So what I'm going to use here for digestion to be complete is that I'm going to make use of the word ingestion. I-N-G-S-T-I-O-N. That is ingestion, buccal cavity. So you get your spoon of rice, you scoop a spoon of rice, you put it inside your mouth, that is ingested. So immediately you ingest the food inside your mouth. The next thing is that you will use your teeth, you start using your teeth to break the food particles down. That is the grains of rice and beans. You start breaking it down, When you are breaking it down, you are using your teeth, we call that process mastication. That is, you are breaking the food down. Now, as you are breaking the food down, you will understand one thing, that as you are breaking it down, you are getting a feel, the taste of the food, because saliva will act on it. Then inside that saliva lies a particular enzyme called ptyalin. What ptyalin does is that it helps you to convert your cooked starch, which is the rice in this case, to a simple form of sugar called maltose. I hope I'm communicating. Now, but the question you now ask yourself is that, I'm so curious. Where did this saliva come from? Yes, that's the question you ask yourself. So what it means is that there are 4 glands that are primarily responsible for you to have a complete salivary gland. There are 4 glands that are primarily responsible for you to have a complete salivary gland. And these glands are the parotid gland, the sublingual gland, the orbital gland, and the submaxillary gland. I repeat, the parotid gland, the sublingual gland, the submaxillary gland, and the orbital gland. These 4 glands make up your salivary gland. So that is where the saliva is coming from. So if you scoop any food substance into your mouth and saliva is not there to moisten it, you don't really get the taste of the food, and the thing will just taste pale. So immediately you chew the food, the tongue will help you roll the food into a bolus. It rolls it into a bolus, then you swallow. So immediately you swallow, it moves down to the base of the mouth. That's the pharynx. So the pharynx, very close to the pharynx at the back of the mouth, there's an opening where the food is just going to your gullet or esophagus before further digestion. Okay, we'll go back to that. We said pancreas, liver, and gallbladder. Now look at it. Digestion involves the breakdown of food into smaller and smaller components until they can be absorbed and assimilated into the body. There are 2 keywords here, absorb and assimilated. That means you will break it down to the tiniest parts. That means there is enzymic activities going on to break the food down. So that's the more reason why you find out that if somebody eats and the person has a form of stomach upset, what happens at the end of the day? The stomach upset allows you to have your stomach rumbling, and once it starts rumbling, because you don't have the muscle to bring back your food, the next thing you do is you vomit. So when you vomit, you look at the food, you say, God, it looks disgusting, because you have it looking slimy. It means that those enzymes, the one in the mouth has done its own part. The one in the stomach, that's pepsin and renin, are also doing their own parts to break the food down. That's why they said, so when the food is broken down, then it will be absorbed in the bloodstream, and assimilation means it will be assimilated by the body into the body. So the process of digestion has 3 stages. Let's look at it. The first stage is the cephalic phase of food, which begins with gastric secretions in response to the sight and smell of food. Remember what they normally say, that smelling occurs first where? In your brain, because there are olfactory lobes in your brain that links the nose. So immediately Mr. Dixon walks into this particular place, and probably before getting into this particular room, that you guys are busy preparing the best delicacies, maybe pepper soup with bush meat and the rest of it. I will start perceiving it because you have used some scent leaves to garnish it. Then immediately, where is this thing coming from? Then I will start salivating. Then the message will be sent from the olfactory lobes that brings you to the nose to perceive it that, hey, this thing is tasty. I hope I'm communicating. Then the next thing Mr. Dixon will do is that I will start following the aroma and I'm moving up. Then lo and behold, I'll just come and say, guys, you guys don't want to call me. Is this where you're enjoying? That's what I'm saying. Sight and smell. So you look at it, smelling occurs first in what? In the brain. Now let's see. This stage includes the mechanical breakdown of food by chewing. Can you see? Mechanical, that's the word they use. Mechanical chewing, that is using your teeth to break the food down by chewing. And the chemical breakdown by digestive enzymes that takes place in the mouth. So digestion of anything that is starchy, cooked starch, starts in the mouth. Cooked rice in the mouth. Bread in the mouth. Gari in the mouth. Anything that is starchy in nature. Let's quickly look at this chart. The human digestive system, you all agree with me. Look at the position of this place from here. You have the opening from the mouth from this place. And one thing I want to state here is that if you look at the base of this place, you will agree with me that there is a link between your nasal cavity, your nose, and the mouth here. So while eating, you are not expected to be talking, because you will be moving the flap. There's a flap called the epiglottis. Are you getting it now? So that flap is there to protect food from entering into your breathing chamber. So peradventure you're unable to control it, and while you were busy sipping the pepper soup, you were talking to a friend and you were enjoying yourself, and the next thing you just stopped and you couldn't control the thing open. That pepper soup might get into your breathing chamber, and it could be a pepper soup that is very peppery. And the next thing you do is that you will cough and sneeze. It's possible you will sneeze out the pepper soup from your nose, or if it is rice you are eating, you will sneeze out some grains of rice there from your nose. Okay, so from that place, the food goes into this other. This is the buccal cavity in the mouth. What happens here, you can see, there's a link. Now, this is where the tube, that's the esophagus or gullet is. It has no business with the breathing chamber here, because if it's the breathing chamber, there's a link between the trachea that is attached to the esophagus here. So the business is that the food is moving from this place, then it comes here. Then, by the time the food will get here, there is a muscle that will open up for the food to get into this small muscular sac called stomach. That muscle is called the cardiac sphincter. The cardiac sphincter opens up, it's a muscle, it opens up. The food that is coming from your gullet, the rice and beans you ate, will move in this order by a wave-like action called peristalsis into the stomach. The stomach is just a small muscular sac. A small muscular sac, this is not, it's inside, that expands when you eat. So immediately the food gets into this place, churning of food will take place. The food churning, start mixing, because you have a particular acid in it. When I say acid, we're not talking about the HCl, we have the inorganic acid in chemistry. There's a natural acid inside it, the organic acid. That one is the inorganic acid that contains 0.5% HCl. And what that acid does, that it prevents the food in the stomach from decaying. So if you don't have it in the stomach, most importantly, that means our food will decay in our stomach. Then also, another process that is happening here is churning of food. The food, mixing of food. That's why when somebody vomits from this place, you're having stomach disorder, you will see the food will look slimy when you vomit. It shows that there is enzymic action going on, that the food has not finished or gotten to its last phase of digestion. Now, by the time the food wants to leave this place, the enzyme, there are two enzymes in this stomach called pepsin and renin. Now, pepsin helps you in the digestion of proteinous food, which is the beans you ate, and renin is for milk coming. Now, there's a link here. From here, look at it. So the food is living here. Now, remember that food that is in slimy nature, we call it a semi-liquid paste called chyme. CHYME. That, if peradventure you're able to vomit it because you're having a disorder, the nature of that substance at that particular point, that thing vomited, is called chyme, semi-liquid paste. But if you did not vomit it because no stomach disorder, then there's a muscle here called the pyloric sphincter. The pyloric sphincter will open up, then that food will be able to gain access into the pancreas here. It won't get into the large or small intestine. This is small intestine here, and this is large intestine. So it goes directly into the pancreas, where another phase of digestion will take place. I hope I'm communicating. And remember here that the pancreas secretes the isolate of Langerhans. The isolate of Langerhans secretes insulin. And what the insulin does is that it helps to regulate or to control the amount of sugar that is in the bloodstream. I hope I'm communicating. So if the insulin is faulty, then it won't be able to regulate it. Then it will give rise to a disease known as diabetes mellitus or diabetes insipidus. There are two of them it can likely give rise to. That is if the insulin is faulty. I hope I'm communicating. But if the insulin is not faulty, that's the work of the insulin in the body. Remember the right you ate will be converted, starchy food to sugar. Then insulin will work, do what it's supposed to do. But if the insulin is faulty, that's when that comes in. And you also know that anybody who is diabetic in nature will not take that. Please, let's get back to, let me quickly round up with that other part. Okay. Saliva contains digestive enzyme, look at them there, amylase and lingua lipase, secreted by the salivary gland and serous glands on the tongue. I talked about this the last time. Remember I talked about sublingual gland. Now make up that. Now the enzyme starts to break down the food in the mouth, chewing, in which the food is mixed with saliva. That's what I saw. When you masticate it, it's mixed with saliva. Begins the mechanical process of digestion. The teeth will help in the mechanical process by breaking the food down. This produces a bolus. Remember that's the word I used. It rolls it into a bolus. It moves a bolus, which can be swallowed. Because you can't scoop a spoon of rice inside your mouth and you swallow. When the person is not a bird, it's not possible that it picks the food and swallow. So you need to chew your food, enjoy the meat, or somebody will cut a piece of meat. Instead of you to have a feel of the meat, just cut your meat and swallow. It's not possible. That's what I'm trying to say here. This process this produces a bolus which can be swallowed down the esophagus to enter the stomach. Look at the next seat. So down there, peristaltic movement. In the stomach, the gastric phase of digestion takes place. So the gastric phase in the stomach here is what takes place. Remember I said that the stomach secretes gastric juice of about 0.5% hydrochloric acid. And what that acid does is that it prevents food from getting decayed. Now, the food is further broken down by mixing with gastric acid until it passes into the duodenum. Now, let's take the key word here. Duodenum in the tenor. Duodenum is the first part of the small intestine. Before you talk about the small intestine is divided into two parts, the ileum and the duodenum. The duodenum happens to be the very first part of the small intestine, which are in the third intestinal phase of digestion, where it is mixed with a number of enzymes produced by the pancreas. What we talk about the pancreas is that the islet of Langerhans of the pancreas secretes insulin, which regulates or controls the amount of sugar present in the blood. That's what they're trying to tell you here. So it means that if the insulin is active, it does its job. If it's not active, then it gives rise to the disease diabetes mellitus or insipidus. Digestion is helped by the chewing of food carried out by the muscles of mastication. That is true. The muscle will help you to masticate, to break it down. The tongue and the teeth, and also by the contraction of peristalsis. That is the wave-like movement of food via the gullet or esophagus. Have you noticed something? Sometimes you eat. Some people will tell you, when I eat certain foods, I have heartburn. If I eat this, I will have heartburn. I hope I'm communicating. Then what it does is that at a point when you are trying to swallow, if you are trying to swallow the food that you know, if I eat this, if I eat like 5 spoons of it, I have heartburn at the end of the day. What you notice is that there will be contraction. By the time the food moves is rolled into a bolus, it gets into the back of the pharynx, that's the back of the mouth. It moves inside, then you'll be having a form of contraction here. So by the time you eat 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spoons, you are like, what's going on? Then it will result to heartburn, and some people will rather tell you, we don't want to go for that. So peristaltic wave-like movement becomes very difficult before it gets into that place. So it looks as if you are having a kind of, the stomach is filled up, but you've not really eaten anything because the stomach is a sac, it expands when you eat. So the tongue and the teeth, and segmented. Gastric acid and the production of mucus in the stomach are essential for the continuation of digestion. What are they trying to tell you there? That in the stomach, the next phase of digestion takes place. So in the stomach now, gastric juice is going to work. Then the other one, churning of food is going to happen. So that's why when you vomit from your stomach, because you cannot bring back your food, you are not a ruminant, you are not a goat or cow that can just pull its food back. Because we don't have that, we don't have a complex muscle. So when you vomit from the stomach, you look at the food. That's the word they are using here. Look at it here. Number contraction. Okay, peristalsis is the rhythmic contraction of muscles. So it pulls and relaxes. That begins in the esophagus there, or the gullet, continues along the walls of the stomach, and the rest of the gastrointestinal tract, which we've talked about. This initially results in the production of, look at the word I use, chyme, semi-liquid paste of food. That food vomited is the chyme. So you don't longer call it food. So when the food is in the stomach, look at it here. When the food is in the stomach, it is called chyme. When it leaves the stomach, chyme is the word you'll be using in biology. It moves into the pancreas. Look at it from here. So from here, which when fully broken down in the small intestine is absorbed as chyle, C-H-Y-E. So chyle now means that if you vomit, that's why when your digestion is complete and there's a disorder, sometimes you vomit, it looks as if it's ordinary water you're vomiting, or something that is transparent, not the normal one. So food stays in the stomach approximately 3 to 4 hours before the next phase of digestion will take place. Then most of the digestion of food takes place in the small intestine. The small intestine is the longest organ in the human body, and absorption of food takes place in the small intestine. Take note of that. The absorption of food takes place here. There are 2 organs you are talking about here: small intestine, large intestine. One absorbs the food. One is primarily responsible for absorption of water. So small intestine absorb food. Then water and some minerals are reabsorbed back into the blood in the colon of the large intestine. So So what they are trying to tell you here is that the large intestine is divided into two parts, colon and caecum, or if it's plural, you call it caeca. Now remember what we talked about small intestine here, we said duodenum and ileum. Those are the two parts. So for here, they are talking about the colon and the caeca. The waste product of digestion, that is there's an error here. It is spelled F-A-E-C-S, that's physics. The Yorubas call it Ibe. So you have it there, the waste product of this is are defecated from the anus. Now, via the rectum, look at it here, from the anus. So the question now is that what is the last organ of the alimentary canal system of man? The last organ of the alimentary canal system of man is not this. Now, mind you, the anus is just an opening, an aperture. The last organ is the rectum. Why do we say the last organ is the rectum? Because when the physics is formed, when it is formed, the question you ask yourself is that where is the physics housed? The physics that is formed, you'll be forming it gradually. Where is it kept? Is it kept in the anus? No, because the anus will have to open up. So the rectum is the temporary storage organ of the physics. So it is housed in the rectum. Then when the stimuli from inside comes, that you are pressed, then the next thing is that, God, I'm pressed. At the point you might be holding it, that, okay, let me all hold on for a while. And at the point you'll be able to hold it again. Then the next thing you do, maybe you sit on this thing, the muscle will open up. That muscle that open up, that's the anus here. Once it